I want to talk about positioning our business post COVID-19. Positioning our business post COVID-19. Madam Blessing, you're welcome. Yeah. Ambassador, am I good to go, or I should just keep holding up? Okay. Waiting for the signal from above. I'm the pilot, and I'm just waiting for the signal from the control tower to go ahead. Excellent. Mabel, good morning. I see you. Lilian Eduru, I see you. Lawani, I see you. Good morning. Madam Teresa Alimi, good morning. I see you all the way from Lekki. Madam Blessing, yes, I can see you. Lilian Eduru, good morning. Good to see you. We are waiting for more people to join before I kick off. Like I said, I posted a video a few moments ago into the CIG group. It will do you good while we are waiting to watch that video. Evergreen, I see you. Good morning. Okay. This morning, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Gilbert Ute. I'm an engineer by training. I finished from the University of Lagos. Did electrical engineering, and I have an MBA. I'm also an alumnus of the Lagos Business School Senior Management Program. My career spanned across the service industry, the oil and gas, the telecommunication industry, and now I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. So this morning I want to talk to us about positioning our business for post-COVID-19. Positioning our business for post-COVID-19. We have found ourselves in a period where the entire world has been put on pause by this pandemic called COVID-19. And it is so bad that nobody can move out. It's like the plague of Egypt. Nobody goes out, nobody comes in. We have found ourselves in an unfamiliar circumstance and situation. I can see you, Mr. Basi Yusuf, all the way from Yola. Welcome. Now we have found ourselves in very unfamiliar terrain, wherein everybody is shut in. Suddenly, we have new vocabularies in our life. Vocabularies like lockdown, pandemic, isolation, quarantine, and so on and so on and so on. We find ourselves in situations where we cannot relate as we used to do. Suddenly, we only depend on the news from television and social media. And so, some people have even become experts in topics that they know nothing about. But you know something? The greatest impact of this is that business life has also been impacted. terribly. Every kind of business you can think of has been impacted. There's so much fear in the atmosphere. Nobody is going out, nobody is coming in. Now, how do you live in such an environment? But let me tell you a story. The lion is said to be the king of the jungle. But guess what? The lion is not the biggest animal in the jungle. The lion is not the wisest animal in the jungle. The lion is not even the biggest animal in the jungle. But yet, it is said that the lion is the king of the jungle. Why? It is the attitude of the lion. We must imbibe the attitude of the lion to operate in this environment. So, you must cut away from all the junks around you, because there's so much information, fake news going around. You need to cut away from them. Some people have become masters at forwarding messages. If you are like me and you belong to so many chat platforms, you get hundreds of chats every day. Some people will sit down and be reading them one after the other. But that will not help you. Because it's garbage in, garbage out. And whatever you receive into you, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It is what you feed into your spirit that you will give out. So, cut away from all those forms of feeding your life with news from social media. I put a post on Facebook a few days ago. It is a quote, and let me quote that. Give you that quote. An unexamined life is a life not worth living. An unexamined life is a life not worth living. Now, you want to ask yourself, why am I living? What is my purpose? Where am I right now? Even in this situation of a pandemic. You need to do a self-assessment of yourself. Where am I now? Where do I need to be in the next 1 year? In the next 6 months? In the next 2 years? Where do I need to be? After you've determined that, you now need to ask the final question. How do I get there? Where am I right now? Where do I need to be? And how do I get there? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself in this period of pandemic. And you put pen to paper to these questions. It will take you to a very key word that we take very lightly in our life. What is that word? Why? Why? Why am I here? Why am I living? Why am I doing what I'm doing? So, what is your why? How has this pandemic affected your why? You need to ask yourself, do I just sit down, accept everything, and play dead? Does it take me to where I'm supposed to be? How do I recalibrate myself? We all need to recalibrate ourselves. Why do we need to recalibrate ourselves, first of all? Unfortunately, this pandemic has revealed a new lifestyle to us, a new way of living. Like I said earlier on, everything is affected. Industries are affected, companies are affected, businesses are affected, even lives are affected. Don't even let us mention lives that are even lost. Now, but guess what? This pandemic has redirected us, everybody, to focus on technology. Now we have our meetings via Zoom. We have our meetings via Facebook. We make contacts via social media. How are you going to position yourself in this new situation that we have found ourselves, using technology and still attain your end goal. Can you imagine the impact of this pandemic? How has this pandemic affected industries, banks, companies, manufacturing companies, eateries, hotels, delivery services? In what way has this business affected you as a person? Affected your business as a person? Some businesses are going to die naturally after this pandemic. Some will re-evolve. And some will just play dead until they are finally dead. Where do you want to put yourself in this era? How do you want to position yourself going forward? Now, your morning starts when you wake up. It's an African proverb. Your morning starts when you do what? When you wake up. You may not be an expert in technology, but your morning starts when you pick up interest and learn how to navigate your way in this time of pandemic using technology. And let me tell you, technology has gone beyond what we even think of. And in everything, even in war, people are making money. In pandemic, people are making money. So don't deceive yourself and think that, oh, the pandemic is here now. There are going to be job losses. There are going to be downsizing. Money is going to be scarce. That is what you think. But that is not what happens to everybody. Because even in this pandemic, some people are making money. Some organizations are still making money. Because why? They are reinventing themselves. You need to reinvent yourself in this period. I'll give you an example. When this pandemic started, the Zoom that we all use now for video conferencing, they had a subscription base of about 20 million before pandemic. In 3 weeks into the pandemic, the subscription of Zoom had gone to 400 million. Guess what? Are they making money? I'm sure they are making money. All the big companies are also coming up with their own applications for video conferencing. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. In what way are you looking at your business to have a cut in this situation that we have found ourselves? 2 days ago, I was watching CNN and I saw a library in the US. They are on lockdown in that city. They cannot do anything. They just go to the library and sit down. And somebody said to his colleague, but instead of just sitting down doing nothing, let us begin to see what we can do. And before you know it, inside that library, they started producing personal protective equipment, PPEs, for the health sector. I also saw on CNN how school children were using 3D computers to make all these personal protective equipments. What are you doing? In what way are you improving yourself? If you don't know, what are you doing to acquire knowledge? There is no sense in ignorance. Now, having said that, let me say that business has now gone borderless. There's no borders, country borders or state borders when it comes to business again. One of our leaders says you should be earning money. You should be earning money from in naira, in dollars, in yuan, in pound sterling and all that. What's she saying? She's saying that you don't have a border to your business. Your business is borderless. You can project your business to anywhere in the world and make an impact there. So, what should you be doing? Now that you are home, who knows that you are into any particular kind of business? Who are your audience? It's not about branding now, but putting yourself out there so that people know you. You have an identity. I'm not talking about just going online and creating an Instagram account or create a Facebook account or create a Twitter account. No. Beyond that, business must be taken to those platforms with an intention. You must be intentional in your online engagements. You must be intentional in your online what? Engagements. You're not there to just, you're not a celebrity who just wants people to like, you're not a celebrity that wants 10,000 or 100,000 likes. No, it is serious business. Every of those likes that are coming to your page must be commercialized. So how do you commercialize it? Who are your audience? What are you projecting? What are you pushing out there? So you must be strategic. So let's go forward a bit. Now, let me talk a little bit about this impact of this COVID-19. Apart from the fact that it has impacted industries and companies and organizations, the afterfall of it is that there's going to be massive job cuts, massive reduction in income. I read yesterday one of the major banks in Nigeria, the MD is saying that they are going to have 40% salary cuts. I won't mention the banks, but go online, you find the bank. And they're going to reduce their staff strength by 70%. Can you imagine that? Such a major bank shedding 70% of its workforce. Now, and you know in Nigeria, we are very communal in our lifestyle. For every one person that is working, that person has 4 or 5 people attached to him or her. So, what happens to those people that are attached to them? If the person is a married person, that means that his family is in danger. Now, that's just one aspect of it. What about businesses that are going to be impacted in such a way that their business will die eventually? This morning I read that the Minister of Health in Nigeria was approaching some hotels to use their facilities as bed space. Can you imagine that? When you have a massive hotel and there is a lockdown, what happens to that business? Entertainment businesses is on lockdown. Who will come and rent your event place? Also remember, almost 75% of our population are the informal sector. People that must earn on a daily basis. If they don't go out to work, they don't earn. What happens to them? But guess what? In every situation, even in war, people make profits. Even in war, people make profits. Why? Number one, be innovative. Business cannot be done as usual again. What did I say? Business cannot be done as usual again. So, before you carry your goods and services and you go look for your customer and you hawk them. Now, your customer is locked down, you are also locked down. How do you get to them? So, you have to be creative. What happens to your supply chain? Those are the areas you need to look at. How do I get my goods and services across to the people that need them? Now, but guess what? You cannot use the formula that you are using before. When you are doing contact marketing to online marketing, it's not possible. I'm not an expert in e-marketing, so I won't go into that. But you can learn. You can do what? You can learn. Let me also say here that there is a generation of people that we are not looking at, but who are major customers. Who are these people? They call them Gen Z, Generation Z. Children that were born in the 90s up to date, from 1990 to now. People who are in their early 20s. Those are the whiz kids in technology around you. They're just beginning to finish school and beginning to start to work. Let me tell you, they are going to be controlling money like you won't believe the amount of money that they will control very soon. And you know what? They are the kingpins when it comes to technology. They are the think tanks when it comes to technology. So you need to look into that direction. When you make your post online, when you boost your post online, who are your target audience? Are you only targeting your neighborhood, your friends and family, or the location you live in? Or you are targeting people in UK, people in Europe, people in America, people in Asia? Even on this live broadcast, I'm seeing people from the north, Adamawa State. Guess what? People are also locked down from abroad. Now, since they say we are on lockdown, work will start on Monday. But guess what? Most organizations are going to be working at, say, maybe 60% workforce. In a few months, it will, the management will come and say, okay, since we've survived with 60%, we don't need the remaining 40% again. What happens to them? Those are your target audience. Not because they are losing their job, but because you can offer them alternatives. Everybody is in fear, but you cannot afford to be in fear. Are you with me? Now, for you to play in this pandemic era, you need to have some attributes for you to survive in it. Attributes for you to survive in this post-COVID-19 era. Number one, you must be entrepreneurial in your thinking. What did I say? You must be entrepreneurial in your thinking. You must be focused in your finances. You must be what? You must be focused in your finances. That's number two. Number one, you must be entrepreneurial minded. That is, you are the one that is creating the jobs. You are the one that is creating the income. You are the one that is creating the work. You are the one that is creating the value. That is what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur creates value. And once you create value, money will gravitate towards value. As long as you are creating value, money will gravitate towards value. Number three, you must learn to be technologically savvy. You must learn to be technologically savvy. And don't tell me about you are an old person. No, you can learn. You can do what? You can learn. It doesn't take much to learn. There are so many free things online that you can learn from to sharpen your skill. You don't need an MBA in technology to do business online. Just create a presence, create value, and money will gravitate towards you. Create a presence, create value, and money will gravitate towards you. Number 4, you must be people-driven. You must be what? You must be people-driven. What do I mean by that? You must have a genuine love for people. In the sense that whatever you are pushing out must be meeting a need. I see some posts online, and all I see is this person just wants to make money out of me. Or this person is not even conscious of what I'm going through. No. Number 5. Listen, you must be competitive, because everybody is now online. Everybody is seeking for attention. Everybody is looking for their own niche market. How do you create your own niche market? What separates you from the pack? What separates you from the pack? Is it a price war you want to engage in? Or what you want to give people value for whatever you are pushing out? The other day I was on Jumia site, and I saw our long rich wine advertised by different people. Some were selling it 10,000, some were selling it 11,000, some were selling it 9,000. Can you see a price competition going on? If you are going to follow that direction, nobody will buy from you. Because the person that sees it for 9,000 will be hoping that by next week you bring down your price to what? 8,000. Don't engage the social media platforms like that. It is very, very wrong. It is what? It is very, very wrong. Offer value. Offer aspiration. Offer motivation. Those are the selling currencies online. I repeat, offer value, offer aspiration, offer motivation. Those are the selling currencies online. Some people sell by offering fear. If you don't buy this, you will die. Cancer, you will contact cancer. This is the treatment for this. This is the treatment for that. That is the wrong way of selling, because it will run out. And don't forget, there is competition outside there. Are you with me? Number 6. When you are going to be playing outside, another attribute you must have is that you must be open to change. You must be open to what? To change. Now, nothing in life is static. So, if you try this today and it's not working, reevaluate and innovate and launch out again. Change your ways and launch again. You must be open to, you must open your mind to several knowledge hubs and not be so restrictive. So you must be open to change. Otherwise, if you stay in one position for too long, you become a dinosaur. What happens to all the big companies that we grew up knowing? Because they did not change in their processes, in their product offerings, they did not know that civilization was moving faster than they are. What happens to them? They died naturally. Number 7, you must be independent. You must be known for something. You must be independent. And lastly, the last attribute you must have, if you must play in this period and succeed, is that you must be multitasking. You must be able to multitask. You must be able to do what? Multitask. Now, I've given you this to let you know that, look, Your audience is now larger. Your audience are knowledge driven. Your audience are not stupid. And don't mind you, everybody they are keeping their money. They are more frugal with their spendings now than unlike before, because nobody knows what tomorrow offers. But let me tell you what tomorrow offers. Tomorrow offers what you have in your heart. Tomorrow offers what you have in your heart. You cannot become what you want tomorrow if you don't have it in your heart first. You cannot become what you want to be tomorrow if you do not have it pictured in your heart first of all. Now let's move on. In this period of pandemic, some industries will naturally thrive. Some industries will naturally thrive. I'll give you a few of the industries. Unfortunately for us, our business is number one. What is that business? Health and wellness. Health and wellness business will thrive in this time because everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. So, if your business is located in the health and wellness sector, and you are smart about it, you will definitely make an impact. Number two, food business. People, no matter the pandemic, people must eat. After staying healthy, they must eat. But how does the food get to them? Delivery services, logistic business. Those businesses will thrive under this pandemic situation that we have found ourselves in. Online education. A lot of parents are crying now. A lot of parents that have children who are still in primary school or nursery school and all that are crying now because of the workload that they have to go through doing online classes with their children. If we have been told a few months ago that every day you have to sit with your children and put on your television and go online and engage them in their classes, you will have said, no, I don't have time for that. But guess what? Those days are upon us. Those days are upon us. Children now are in whatever level of education. But guess what? It's not only for education, is only for children. How are you educating yourself in this period? How many books are you reading? How many online courses are you doing? How many webinars are you listening to? What's your area of interest? How open is your mind? So, online education is one area that will thrive in this period. You know what? A company like Amazon is making so much money from online business, from online education. So much money. Where can you carve a niche for yourself? Number 4, remote work. A friend of mine was telling me a few days ago that he's based in Port Harcourt. He's working in the oil and gas. He's based in Port Harcourt, and he was telling us a few days ago that in the last 2.5 months he's been working from home. But guess what? If he had told his boss a few months ago that, Oga, please give me 1 day off or 2 days off, let me work from home, it will be unheard of. But now, because of this pandemic, everybody is working from home. Zoom is making money. And let me give you some statistics. Zoom has over 500 million people as subscribers now. Before, when we want to make video calls, we use WhatsApp. We use FaceTime. We use Google app. But now, all the big companies are doing what? They want to catch a piece of the pie. Facebook, when Facebook realized that Zoom is growing in leaps and bounds, they quickly came out with their own version. I think it's called Messenger Room. Yes, Messenger Room. And you don't need Facebook. You just click the thing, install the thing on your phone, and you can have a meeting with over 100 people, free of charge. Now they are tweaking WhatsApp now. Up until now, you can have a meeting on WhatsApp just with 2 people alone. But now they are working behind the scene ferociously to make sure that it can accommodate at least 20 people. Everybody wants to be in the game. Microsoft had come up with their own. It's called Team. So you see, you cannot sit idle when so much action is going on. And you know, money will grab. Wherever you find people, you find money. Wherever you find people, you will find money. So, find the people, you'll get the money. Another industry that will thrive in this period is the entertainment in the Netflix. Netflix recorded, what was the number again now? In last month, the subscription for Netflix in the month of March was over 200 million new subscribers. Because people were home, idle, not much to do, so they sign up to Netflix. Games, all kinds of games and non-gaming applications will sell. All the gyms in our neighborhood have packed up, or rather they've locked up because of the pandemic. But guess what? I'm still doing my gym routines because everything is now free online. I don't need to go and pay subscription to the gym again. Everything is free online. I think it was Teresa Elimi that says we are in a situation where the economy will be democratized and demonetized. The economy will be demonetized and democratized. They will give things to you freely, make it so cheap. When the population rolls into it, they lock you into an arrangement and they start making you. Now, how do you now digitize your products and services? I said, how do you digitize your products and services? It is not about opening a Facebook account. It's not about opening an Instagram account. Like I said earlier on, create content on a daily basis or as often as you need to. You cannot be doing it sparingly. You post today and you don't post again until another 6 months. Nobody will remember you. Nobody will do what? Nobody will remember you. Temitayo, I did not say demonized. I said demonetized. Demonetized. So, now you need to ask yourself these things. These following questions. What are you offering people? What are you offering people? Can those things that you are offering people, can you digitize it? In the sense that They don't need to have any personal contact with you to assess that value or that product or that service. Can you operate on a higher level of excellence such that whatever you push out there is the best creation that you can give to it? You put your best into it. You must operate on a different level of excellence. And you must ask yourself, I don't know it all. I'm not know it all person. I don't have it all together. What are the areas I need to work on to improve my business? In what areas am I struggling to improve my business? I need to get some learning in this direction. Now, who do I want to target? Who do I want to do what? Who do I want to target? And lastly, what platform do I want to use as inroad to my target audience? There are so many video conferencing applications now. If you need to do a video contact with people, there is the very popular one now, which is Zoom. There is Instagram Live. There is WhatsApp video. There is Microsoft Teams. There is Google. Google has two. They have Hangouts and they have Meets. There is Facebook Messenger, which is a new one called Messenger Room. Now, these are various platforms you can utilize. But guess what? Who are your customers? Who are your customers? We have 4 types of customers these days in this period of pandemic. Those who are just, in a cocoon position. They've saved whatever they can save. They've stockpiled their house and just are watching. And just watching. They're just watching. They don't spend too much. They have just locked themselves in. There are those who will spend for only specific areas. You need to determine what kind of people do I need to engage. And like I said earlier on, the customer of today is an empowered customer. The customer of today is an empowered customer. What is your competitive advantage in whatever you are offering? I can give you 2 things that you cannot negotiate with if you must make it. You cannot negotiate trust, and you cannot negotiate loyalty. But for you to get to loyalty, you must get their trust first. How do you build trust? Because somebody is buying from you or registering under you and bringing people into your team does not mean they are loyal to you. They are what we call repeat buyers. The day the repeat buyer sees something better outside, it will move. Does he have your trust? Yes, up until the day he found a better avenue. So, there are 2 things you cannot negotiate: trust and loyalty. Once a customer is loyal to you, that's the kind of brand that the likes of Apple have built for themselves. We have some people, let all the phone companies in this world produce phones that are 10 times better than Apple. Some people will not go outside of using Apple. That is loyalty at its best. If you have customers like that, that you have built trust, a trust foundation with them over time, who has now become not just trust customers, but loyal customers, then you can sit and rest, because they are not going anywhere again. They have become partners with you. Are we together? Now, as I begin to round up, let me say, the pandemic will come and it will go. Life like we know it will change. Business like we know it will change. And most of the things that we are familiar with, lifestyle, will change. When you are positioning yourself and your business, take a change position that will advance yourself and your business. Take a change position that will advance yourself and your business. On this note, I draw the curtain for today's lecture.